What's happening, y'all? Listen, this video right here is going to be an accountability piece. And the reason that I'm throwing that disclaimer out there is because, first of all, it's been several people that have come to my channel and they hear me giving examples of things that happened to me in my situation. And the reason why I do that is because I want you guys to be able to catch certain behaviors and certain things that I missed along my journey. Like, a lot faster than I did when I was in the situation because I didn't have the knowledge and the education. So a lot of my videos is pointing out a lot of the behaviors that I saw while I was dealing with this person, or while I was, either going through the discard, or while I was, going through the love bomb, that kind of thing. So I was giving you guys a lot of examples of things that actually happened, and maybe giving you guys a different interpretation, like putting real life to a lot of the concepts and the terms that we hear on a lot of different channels, like, what the love bomb actually looked like what my love bomb consisted of, like, me getting texts and emails and all of that kind of stuff all day long, her bringing me lunch, that kind of thing. Different people get love bombed different ways, you know what I'm saying? And I guess it's, some people, have been love bombed in similar ways than I have. So it's like, when I do videos like that, it's to point out a lot of the behaviors and a lot of the things that I missed, and a lot, some of the things that I just was not aware of before I got the knowledge and the education behind what I was dealing with. So, secondly, the reason why I said this is an accountability piece is because this video right here is going to kind of show you how we all allow the narcissist to gain access in our lives, and also how the narcissist, I guess, allowed evil entities to, like, access into their lives. So this is all a video. This is actually a video about contracts. And if you guys know anything about contracts, like for you guys that are in real estate, shout out to all of my real estate agents that follow me. If you guys can kind of get in the comment section and back me up on this video, because I know you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this, but a lot of us enter into various different types of contracts without knowing the ramifications that come along with that contract, or without even knowing that you're entering into some type of an agreement with someone. So a few years back, I got really interested into learning about real estate. And so I took the real estate exam here in Maryland. And one big chunk of that exam, it was like one big section of that exam was talking about contracts, and it was talking about, a lot of different types of contracts, verbal agreements, you know what I'm saying, where two people kind of just agree verbally on, a particular thing. One party A agrees to do X, Y, and Z, and then boom, party B agrees to, compensate that party A in whatever manner that they can, compensate them in, whatever the case may be. So there's all different types of contracts. This video isn't really to go through all of the different types of contracts that there are, but this video is just to show you how we have kind of gotten ourselves into contract with, a demon, basically, how we have gone and allowed entrance into our lives. Like, basically, why do you think no contact works the way that it does? Because the demon has to, you know what I'm saying? A demon has to be invited into your life. Excuse me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me give y'all another disclaimer. I know I haven't done a video in a while. Since I've done my last video, I have gotten a dog, and that's him barking in the background. I hope, that he's not too much of an interruption while I'm doing this video. This is actually the first video that I have tried to do since I've had him. He's in the background playing and, that kind of thing right now. So hopefully he doesn't interrupt this video too much, because I feel like this is like a really important video for all of us to, take, like I said, our own accountability and see how we allow access to certain things in our lives. So there were all of these different types of contracts in this real estate class that I took, and one of, like I said, some of them, let me just go through a few examples. So like I said, you have the verbal agreement where I explained that earlier, where two people kind of just verbally agree. Party A does, something, and party B chooses to compensate them in that manner, whatever. Then you have like the written agreement, you know what I'm saying? You have a written agreement where, people kind of, put it in writing that this is party A is going to do X, Y, and Z. Party B will compensate party A for doing X, Y, and Z. You have you have executed contracts where it's like people have actually signed off on the contract, so there is actual, there's basically you've executed, you signed off, you've put it in writing, and you've actually signed off that you will be doing X, Y, Z, da 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 da, whatever the case may be. And one of the types of contracts, well, it was two that kind of, it's kind of cool when you get education in a different area, but then you can kind of apply it to certain things in your life. And when I was coming out of the narcissistically abusive relationship, I was trying to figure out like how I got myself into all of this. Like, how did I allow this person to get that close to me when I had my guards up? When I, you know what I'm saying, when I was, really paying attention, and I was really, people say that you were just completely asleep and this kind of thing. I actually, I did allow this person close to me because I didn't understand how to set certain boundaries, because I had never, I experienced a lot of boundary crossing as a child. So it was certain boundaries that I didn't even know that I needed to have, because I had gotten so used to people crossing them from me being a child all the way up until my adulthood. So it was like kind of natural to me. But like I said, this video right here is going to kind of go through, some of the things that I figured out along my journey. And two of these kind of stood out. Two contract types stood out to me while I was going through narcissistic abuse. And one of them was the verbal agreement. And that was literally just the narcissistic person that I was dealing with, literally just coming out and saying, hey, let's go do this. Hey, let's go do that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And I would just always be agreeable to it, because I was just, you think you're in a relationship, or you think you're leading into what you would want to be a good relationship, that kind of thing. So you're putting your best foot forward, and you're just agreeing with certain things, and you're just like, oh yeah, sure, come on, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Oh sure, I'll go to this party with you. Oh sure, I'll go hang out. Not realizing they're using you to go to this party to make somebody else jealous or something like that. They're using you to, and these, like, I'm speaking from experience. This is stuff that I didn't pick up on until I got to the party. You know what I'm saying? I would get to the party and then realize, oh, okay, you brought me here because you used to mess with dude right here, and then you want to rub it in his face that, you got somebody else, that kind of thing. I didn't realize that was what was going on until I got there, until I actually made it to the party, that kind of thing. So, but one of the major contracts that stood out to me was the implied contract. And the implied contract stood out to me so much because in the class, the example that was given was like when you go to a restaurant. They gave a few examples, but this one kind of stood out to me the most. And they said, when you go to a restaurant, you don't, go and order your menu and write out a written contract saying, hey, I'm gonna, eat your food and this kind of thing. But when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and eat your food, you're implying that you're basically implying that you are going to pay for this meal when you're finished. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of whether you realize that you were entering into a contract when you sat down and you ate that first bite of that food. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, when you ordered that food, a lot of places, you know, when you order that food, a lot of places won't even allow you to send it back, that kind of thing. So you have come into a contract with these people saying, okay, yes, I am going to pay for this meal. Once I sit down and once I eat this meal, I'm going to pay for that. It's when I saw how the implied contract worked, that's when I started realizing, like, okay, now taking into the concept of dealing with the narcissist. When you decided to lay down with that person, this is, you know, me talking to me too. I'm not talking just to my audience. I'm talking to you guys, you guys, but I'm also, talking to me because I went through this. You know what I'm saying? So when I decided to open myself up to that person through sexual activity, I decided to open myself up to that person through trusting that this person had, we had the same interests at heart. You know what I'm saying? We both wanted to see each other win. I went into that situation blindly, not even real life questioning anything about anything, because I was just so, I guess, living in a fairy tale land of wanting to actually meet somebody that was good for me, wanting to, I wanted that lifestyle. I thought that, like, okay, listen, I know I haven't, found anybody up to this point in my life, but, I'm still a young man. I'm still, still got a lot of things going for me, that kind of thing. So I'll eventually find somebody. And that's one of the ways that I allowed myself to be open to this, is because, a lot of us go through the same thing. We, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be lonely, you know what I'm saying? It could be loneliness, you know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of different things. I'm sorry if the dog making a lot of noise, y'all. He right up under me and he playing with his little squeeze ball or whatever. But, it could be a lot of different things that, like, baited you into this, but you still allowed yourself, to lay down with this person. And not only lay down with this person, you probably allowed yourself to lay down with this person continuously. And then, for me, I allowed myself to be basically finessed into, because for years with this person, I would have at least protected sex, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. But I allowed her to kind of, finesse me into, oh, well, it just feels better. I just feel closer to you. I feel this, I feel that. I allowed, her feelings to get in front of my better judgment. Like, this whole time, I should have been protecting myself a lot more in that situation, because this person had shown me that they might not be completely 100% faithful. You know what I'm saying? Because while like, I never actually caught this person flat out cheating, but there were times where she would be around me for a long time and then she would just disappear. And then she would come back and be around me for a long time, day in, day out, that kind of thing. And then she would just disappear again. So, of course, me not being just completely a fool, I'm like, okay, when you're disappearing for a year and a half, 2 years, and you're trying to come back, obviously you've been dealing with other people, this kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? But I would always still allow it back, because the disrespect, I guess, hadn't been blatantly put in my face. You know what I'm saying? And that's another one of the things that, I'll probably do another video about that, is like, regardless of whether somebody blatantly disrespects you or passively disrespects you, because a lot of what the narcissists do, they do a lot of things behind your back sneakily, and, you won't know about a lot of the things that's going on. So, but when you do finally catch wind to something that's, like, disrespectful, don't wait until you're blatantly disrespectful. Don't wait until they're, like, rubbing it in your face, because that's another thing that I kind of did, like, towards the end. It's like, I saw a few things that I that I felt like was disrespectful, and a lot of times I did speak up on it. I'm like vocal when it comes down to disrespect. So if I see something that I feel like is disrespectful, I'm gonna like speak up on it. But you know, it was a few things that happened that part of me was, I guess, trying to still process and figure out, like, did she really just, you know, play with me like that? Like, you know, I feel like you playing with my top right now. I feel like you really, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of thing. So, you know, it was a few things that it was like, you know, was that, am I taking that wrong, or did she really just try to play with me like that? You know, that kind of thing. And then especially when her family members and things got involved, because it was like I had never seen a group of people just be so cold and mean and just ugly and nasty to you, and you, number one, have never really met these people like that. And then the times that you have like had any type of interactions, it's always been like nice and cordial and cool, and you know, you've been cool, like it's never been a problem. But now all of a sudden, you know, I get this woman pregnant, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. Like now all of a sudden, you know, we are going to war, and I'm trying to figure out like what the war is even about, you know what I'm saying? Because this is somebody that I actually cared for, and I wanted to see the best for. And you know, not only did I want to see the best for her, but of course her loved ones. It's like when you come into a relationship, you want to see the best for that person, and then everything that's attached to them, because you know that's your person, that's who you're dealing with, that kind of thing. So you know, but like I said, I just wanted to drop this video real quick and just explain to you guys like how we kind of opened ourselves up when we took the bait, as far as opening ourselves up to the sex, you know, so early, or opening ourselves up to, you know, whatever finesses that they were trying to run, that kind of thing. And you know, a lot of this is not to blame the victim. This is not to say that, you know, the things that they did were justified or any of that kind of thing, because I feel like, you know, wrong is wrong, evil is evil, and I definitely know for sure that this was spiritual warfare, and that was definitely evil that I saw. But when I look back at my own situation, and I look back at my own life, and every time that I have gone, you know, through the questions of like, how did I open myself up to this? Why did I allow her to keep coming back when she had showed me she wasn't loyal in the first place, that kind of thing. So it's like I said, taking accountability into your own situation. Like when you let that person back in, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, the first time you might not have known that this was how this person moved, but then when they rolled out and then you let that person back in, now it's kind of like you've opened up and you have, you know, accepted this person back in. So now they feel like they can walk back through the door, they can play with you as much as they want to, they can, you know, grab the remote control of your life again and start playing and playing and playing until the batteries run out. Once the batteries run out, they throw the remote out the window, and then they go on to the next house. You know, they go into your neighbor's house, or they going up the street to play with their remote control, that kind of thing. So it literally is like, you know, stop allowing access to everybody and anybody just because you might feel a little bit lonely, or you feel like, and a lot of us have a lot, you know, a lot of good things going for ourselves. So it's like a lot of us feel like that's the one missing piece in our life. You know what I'm saying? Like we might have a job, car, you know, this, that, the third, whatever the case may be, home, all of that kind of stuff. And then we feel like, oh, our person, you know, that a relationship is the one thing that we're missing in our lives. And we feel like that's going to like complete us in some type of way. And, you know, one of the things that I had to understand is like, God completes us. You know what I'm saying? God completes, you know, God will give us that inner peace to where we'll feel whole in ourselves before we even get into a relationship. And that's what I was I was taking parts of me into relationships, because I had been broken in the past, you know what I'm saying? In the same way that I feel like, you know, it's the same thing for the narcissist. They've been broken so much in the past that they just chose to do evil. But, you know, empaths, we also have to work on our own healing and work on our own growth and recognizing some of the things that we could do a lot better, and just even recognizing some of the toxic things that are in people around us, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, I didn't make this video to rub nobody the wrong way or nothing like that, man. I absolutely love you guys. I am definitely back making videos again. I will do another video explaining like why, you know, what took me so long and why I have kind of taken a break from making videos. I am not ever, you know, I don't foresee me ever just completely stopping making videos for you guys, because I am still going through my journey as well. And as things come up, I'm always going to be like dropping new content and dropping, you know, and, you know, I'm going to do the best that I can to help you guys heal a lot faster and help you guys get a better understanding of what it is that you were dealing with, that kind of thing. A lot of good things coming up on the channel. I'll be definitely letting you guys know. And I absolutely love you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'll check in with y'all in another video. Hopefully, I might be able to get another one out tonight. But, and I'll introduce you guys to the dog soon, you know what I'm saying? I'll let y'all, you know, see a video of him. I got a mixed breed. Somebody actually gave him to me. They thought that I would be a good parent, and I thought that he would be a good fit for my son, because he was 6 months old when I got him. My son's 3 years old now, and you know, I felt like it would be a good opportunity for my son to kind of get used to, you know, dogs, that kind of thing, and just, you know, having that extra layer of protection on the house. You know, a dog is going to at least bark when somebody comes up, and he's been doing a really good job of, you know, turning into a kind of like a house guard dog, you know what I'm saying? He's 6 months. Well, he's about 7 months now. I got him about a month ago, and he is very attentive to the front door, that kind of thing. But he's also very gentle with my son and all of any other kids that come over. So that's what I like that about him. You know what I'm saying? So also, my son. I had set these to the side because my son had colored me a few pictures, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He's 3 years old. He told me these were the power lines outside. We were discussing electricity, and I was kind of trying to teach him, like, you know, where electricity comes from and all of that kind of stuff. And we got to talking about the power lines, and he kind of got wrapped up into the power lines, so he ended up coloring them. You know what I'm saying? So these are the power lines. This is the first one that he drew. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the first one that he drew. That was the second. And then, you know, I started hanging them up. It was like, you know, as he was drawing them, I'm like, oh, great job, son. You know, and you want me to hang it up? And he's like, yeah, hang it up. So once I hung up the first one, he just started going crazy and started, you know, he kept coloring them. So, you know, I have 3 or 4 new pictures that I need to hang up, you know. But, man, I absolutely love you guys. I will be back with y'all in a minute. I'll talk to y'all soon.